Hi math students, this video is to help you with your upcoming checkpoint 7.7. Remember, you can print out this paper and fill it in as we go, or you can use your own paper to write it down, or you can fill it in electronically. That is your choice, but these are great to use for your notes for your checkpoint that's right after this video. Okay, so number one, the weight of an object on Mercury is 1/5 of its weight on Earth. How much would a 10 1/3 pound object weigh on Mercury? So this lesson was about multiplying fractions. So you can probably guess that you're going to multiply 1/5 times 10 1/3. So I'm going to write that out, 1/5 times 10 1/3. So when we're dealing with mixed numbers, it's best to turn them into improper fractions first so that you can work with them more easily. So this is going to be 1/5 times, and if I turn this into an improper fraction, 3 times 10 is 30 plus 1, so that's 31/3. Now, when we're multiplying fractions is way easier than adding and subtracting fractions. You don't need a common denominator for this. You're just going to multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. So 1 times 31 is 31, and 5 times 3 is 15. So 31 over 15, and I can turn that back into a mixed number like the problem started if I want. So 15 goes into 31 2 times, which is 30, so I'd have 1 left over. 2 1/15. So on Mercury, the object would weigh 2 1/15 pounds. And so I better put pounds on there since this was a word problem. We should have labels, units. Number 2, 5 6 times 1/3. So I'm just going to write this a little bit bigger because that's kind of small. So like I said, multiplying fractions is so much easier. You don't need to worry about common denominators. You just multiply the tops. 5 times 1 is 5. Multiply the bottom, 6 times 3 is 18, and reduce if you can, but nothing goes into 5 and 18, so that's just my final answer. Number 3, we've got 3 things being multiplied together. So when you're multiplying, you can only multiply 2 things at a time. So let's just do -4 times 2 first. Well, that's -8. We learned that back in the integer section. So -8 times 2/5. So when I'm dealing with a whole number and a fraction, I want to turn that whole number, -8, into a fraction by putting it over 1. -8 over 1 times 2/5. So now I can multiply the numerators. -8 times 2 is -16. And multiply the denominators. 5 times 1 is 5. So you can leave it like that, or if they want it as a mixed number, I could turn that into a mixed number. This is going to be a negative. 5 goes into 16 3 times, which is 15, and I'd have 1 left over. Number 4, I have 2/3 times 5, so I know I'm going to put 5 over 1 because I want to have a numerator and a denominator for this problem. So I'm multiplying the numerators. 2 times 5 is 10. Multiply the denominators. 3 times 1 is 3. You can leave it like that, or if they want it as a mixed number, 3 goes into 10 3 times, which is 9, so there's 1 left over. 3 1/3. So if you feel good about these problems, about multiplying fractions, go ahead and take your checkpoint now. If you still need more help, you can call, text, IM, email, and get some more help from me before you take your checkpoint.